So question 1 was on investment appraisal, 20-mark question, and the core workings, we still having problem with it. So let's see how. Okay, so let's go. Question 1. Denko. So Denko has undertaken market research at a cost of $200,000 in order to forecast the future cash flows of an investment project with an estimated useful life of 4 years as follows. So we have the sales and we have the cost. These forecast cash flows are before taking into account general inflation of how much? 4.8%. So these are real cash flows. Are we getting the idea? Right. The capital cost of the investment project payable at the start of the first year will be how much? 2 million. Payable at the start of the first year. The investment project will have zero scrap value at the end of the 4th year. The level of working capital investment at the start of each year is expected to be 10% of the sales revenue in that year. Capital allowances will be available on the capital cost of the investment project on a 25% reducing balance basis. Danco pays tax on profit at an annual rate of 30% per year, with tax being paid 1 year in arrears. What does that mean? It means even though the project life is 4, we are going to do how many years? 5, right? Let's go. Danco has a nominal, that is the money rate after tax cost of capital of 12% per year. Required. A. Calculate the net present value of the investment project in nominal terms and comment on its financial acceptability. B. Calculate the net present value of the investment project in real terms and comment on its financial acceptability. And then C. Explain. So, if we are calculating cash flows or NPV in nominal terms, meaning we are supposed to take into consideration what? Inflation. Makes sense? So in taking into consideration inflation, the sales figure and the cost figure there is at real terms. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's go sales. 1250 52570. Can I have the answers, please? The figures.
And you want the inflated or
No, like give me the sales.
6,890.
4,500.
4,500.
Right, so these are the real cash flows. Then we need to bring the inflation on it. So inflated sales, and the inflation rate is at what? 4.7% per annum. So using the Fisher approach is going to be 1 plus 0.047 exponent 1. What do you have? 1309.
1309. Yes.
2817.
7908. 5444.
Okay, so that's the sales. So that's the inflated sales figure.
So there is 130.9.
1309.
That's what I'm saying.
So there's no point. Then the cost. We go 1, 2, 3, 4. The real terms.
500. 1,000. 2,500. 1,007.
Okay, then we go to the inflated cost.
524.
524.
1096. 2869. 2103.
So that is what we got to understand about that. So these are the sales, these are the costs. Then the next key workings we do is the capital allowance. But maybe we can do working capital before. So let's go to working capital. What is the issue about the working capital? What did the examiner say?
The level of working capital investment at the start of each year is expected to be 10% of the sales revenue that year.
Okay, so 10% of the sales revenue that year. So we will bring the sales. Remember, we are dealing with nominal terms, so we will bring the nominal sales, which we've had 1309 2817 7908 5444. So we bring in the working capital requirement. What do we have? 131. 282. 791, and then 544. Now, what do you do? Remember, I told you that in the schedule, we only bring what? The increase. Remember, we are told that the working capital requirement is at when? The start of each year. Hence, this 131 will go to year 0. So, we find the increase. Or if you want, change the working capital. So, this minus this, what do we have? 151. Then this minus this. 509. Then this minus this.
247.
So these are outflows, okay? When we go to the schedule, this 131 will go to year 0. This will go to year 1. This will go to year 2. This will go, but at the end, the whole money will come as what? An inflow of how much? 544. Is that going to be the inflow for the final year? Are you sure of that 544? But it's like.
The 544 is the 10%. Yes.
Okay, we are working to the nearest thousand, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the 544 last year comes. So this is an inflow at the final year, because I told you that working capital, all outflow comes in as an inflow at the end of the final year. So that's the working capital calculation. Please understand well. This figure goes to year 0. This will go to year 1. This will go to year 2. This will go to year 3. This will be an addition in the 4th year. Then we come to the favorite area, capital allowance. I don't know.
The working capital is always at the start of the year.
No, it depends on the question.
So what is it at the end?
If it says at the end of the year, meaning that year 1's phone will be in year 1, year 2's phone will be in year 2, year 3's phone will be in year 3.
Like what I did.
Yes, like what you did. So you did not consider this one, and you ignored that statement there at the start of the year. Makes sense? Because at the start of year 1, it means we have to pay it at the end of year 0. Then at the start of year 2, it means you have to pay it at the end of year 1. That is why this money is required in year 1, but we have to take it to year 0. This money is required in year 2, but we have to bring it to year 1. That is how we will be able to account for it. Capital allowance. Cost or net book value. The depreciation rate. And then what? The capital allowance. Now, what was the depreciation rate? Or capital? 25%. Tax rate? 30%. We go for it. The cost of the machine year 1. Cost of the machine year 1. 2,000. So we go 25% of that. 30% of that. Year 2. It is reducing balance basis. So 1,005, 25%, 30%. Year 3. 25%, 30%. Then year 4. 844. Listen, I said in the final year, 3 things can happen. 1, the asset has no scrap value. 2, the asset is sold at a profit, or 3, the asset is sold at a loss. In this question, we were told that there is no scrap value. In that case, all we will do is take 30% on the 844. What do we have?
253.
There you go. There you go. So this is what you were supposed to do in the final year, because it has no scrap value. Assuming it was sold at a profit, then the difference, we will do the tax rate on it. In the culture say in the final year, don't charge depreciation. Just ask yourself, is it disposed of? If it is disposed of, did we make profit? If we make profit, then the difference we will pay a tax. If we made a loss, then the difference we will claim an extra capital allowance. If we did not sell the asset, then the balancing figure there, we will claim what? A tax deduction on the total amount. If we make a profit, so assuming we sold the asset for 1,000, sounds good? Meaning we are making a profit of 166. So we will just do the 30% on the 166, but this time around, it won't be addition, it will be subtraction, because when you make profit, you will pay tax to the tax authority.
So it's going to be the 160 that will be at the end of the year.
It is going to be 30% of the 166. That will be here.
What I'm saying is the 844. If we sold it for 1,000,
yeah.
The difference, is it the difference that will come at the end of the year as the cost?
No, it's not the cost, it's the profit on disposal.
So it's still the 844 will be there.
So you do 844 minus 1,000, right? You get a 166. Then you do 30% straight up on the 166. But what I'm saying is that now, when you go to your schedule, because you made a profit, you'll be paying tax. So, you know capital allowance naturally we add. But this time around, you'll be what? Subtracting, because of the fact that you're making a profit.
See what I'm saying? So the 160 will just appear.
Yeah, it has to be on the schedule. Because if it's not on the sheet. Yeah, at the same form here. It's just the workings you are making. So all you do is this. 844 minus 1,000. Then you get a negative of 166. Then you do 30% on that negative, then the figure you bring it here. I hope you get the idea. That's it. So that's these are the workings we are supposed to do for the question. So put it down, then let's look at the NPV schedule. Let's put the pieces now together. So we have the NPV schedule. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So why? Okay. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, why are we bringing the 5th year?
Tax.
Because the tax is paid 1 year in arrears. So let's go. Sales from workings 1. Can I have answers?
1309.
1309.
2817. 7908. 534.
Okay.
No, you started from year 0.
180.
What's it?
180.
And you're going with you.
2817. 7908. 544.
Okay. Cost? Workings 2.
524. 1096. 2869. 210.
0.
3.
What do you name? Okay. Profit?
785.
785.
1721.
1721.
5039.
And then more running shift. 5039.
334.
3341. Okay. Then what else do we bring?
Tax.
Tax at 30%, right? Remember, it is 1 year in arrears. It's year 1 will go to year 2. How much?
236.
Is it being confirmed?
Yes, it was you mark it, it was correct.
Let's go.
Then it's your fault. 516. 1512.
Okay.
1002.
Okay. So that is 30% on this, it comes to the second year. 30% on that, it comes to the third year, respectively. Then, so capital allowance, tax doesn't work alone. His brother is around. Capital allowance, that's working what?
Working
3. So we go. Our 4.
150.
150.
113.
84. 253.
Oh. It will follow in year 1. Oh. I'm thinking. Yes, it should go with the tax.
No, the mistake you made was putting them in brackets. Not so.
Yeah. So give it to me again.
150.
Okay.
113.
84.
253.
Okay. So that's it. So because capital allowance goes with the tax, then what do? We will get a net, or let's just put the rest of the things there. Working capital. Working sign 3, I guess. Year 0, yes, 131. 15. Are you giving me the increase?
Yes.
Okay.
509.
247.
54.
So the last one will be an what? Inflow to us. Yes, ma'am. Because we were told that the cash requirement is at the start of the year. The level of working capital investment is at the start of each year. Are you getting it? So year 1, this is year 1. Meaning we have to incur it in now, year 0. Now from there, no increase in the because change in working capital, we don't take care of the actual figure we will be incurring. We are just going to take into consideration what? The increase.
So you first take the first one.
Then bring it to year 0. The rest will be the change. Then the last you get will come at the last as an inflow. You got it? What else we got? Is that all? Initial capital. So initial cost, how much? 2,000. That's an outflow. It has no scrap value. Is that all? We good? Sure about that? Let's go. So net cash flows. 2131. Lazy guy. Let's do the cheap ones all the time. 634. Positive.
Yeah. One,
1126. Okay. What do we break? The discount factor. What's the nominal rate given? 10%. So we read 0.893.
0.797. 0.712. 0.6. And then 0.567.
Okay. All right. So let's go.
566.
Actually, now
Second one. First one,
2 1 3 1 5
6
6 6
8 9 7.
How much you say there?
8 9 7.
Uh-huh.
Three one two four. 3 1 2 5.
1 5 6 9.
4 4 2 5.
So net present value. Oh, wow.
And I say,
3 5 9
3 5.
5 9
Are you sure?
yes.
Because the answer I'm getting here,
What
I'm not supposed to get that answer.
What was your answer?
1 1 2 6 4. This figure. It's a problem with this figure.
Which one?
This figure.
3 9 minus 9 6 plus 1 1 3 minus 2 6 4 3 8 9.
The third year, was it a reduction or it was an increase? The working capital. Did it reduce or it increased?
Increase.
Eh?
No, you see the
No, the second and the third year, did it increase or it reduced? They can't see.
it reduced.
It reduced, so it's supposed to be positive, not negative. Are you getting it? When it increased, some will increase here. We have starting point. And a way by way increase here. And a way by way increase here. But wherever had a reduce here, so it will be an addition. Are you getting the treatment? Eh? Go to your working capital schedule. I said, what happened to the second and the third year? Did it increase or it reduced?
It's increased.
It increased, right?
Yes.
Did it increase?
The second and the third year, yes.
So how did you get the 247?
Are you talking about the third and the fourth year?
Yes.
The third and the fourth year is reduced.
So the reduction, won't say a sorting. So the reduction means it's an addition. It's an inflow.
Okay, then it's 4 6.
So that will be positive.
4 6 3 6. Okay, I'll swap it together.
4 6.
3 6.
Like for this figure,
Yes.
how did you punch that?
What did I punch for?
How did you punch it?
Am I wrong?
When you added it back, it will eliminate it.
4 8 8.
Yes, if you add it back, it will eliminate it.
Okay, so I have to add it twice.
Why you ref you double entry on. Correction of errors.
4 8
4883. So it's only bizarre how?
8. 3 4 7 7.
3477. So give me the NPV now.
Oh, no mistake.
39.
Awesome. Oh, still we didn't get it.
3947,000. Positive, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes, so that's it. Now, listen to this carefully. We are told that this is after tax cost of capital. But assuming the examiner said before tax, then we would have to calculate the after tax rate by doing 1 minus what? the tax figure times the figure. Are you getting the idea?
Times what? Which figure?
Because what was the tax rate?
30%.
30%. So in that case, then the after tax discount factor will be 12%. Then we're going to take 70% of it. Does it make sense?
No.
The 12% out 1 minus t. So that 12% out 1 minus 0.3. So this will now give you the after-tax cost of capital. Because if there is tax in the question, then the discount rate has to be the after-tax rate.
So which one is this one?
So this one is after-tax rate. That was given in the question. But me can say if you examine the number of before tax
And so you
rate.
can use for the
That means there's no dream fast. Now we calculating the after-tax by subtracting the tax from 1 and taking that percentage from the figure that I was giving to
You
you.
are going to use the answer that you get 8.4.
Yes. So that 8.4 becomes the discount factor you're going to be using.
So you use that 8, so it's basically 8 to read from there.
Yes. Not basically 8. You have to run it. You have to still punch the. You have to punch it out 8.4 and get a discount factor.
So we have to use that 8.4.
Yes,
So
to do
later
it.
we calculate our own discount.
You calculate your own discount rate.
When I calculate, you can't say how
Because it's not.
But we know approximately where you are supposed to end.
So I look at the 8 and then look at the difference. 0.4. So I'll split it into.
Oh yeah. I hope you are getting the
That one will
difference.
be
So after calculating everything like this, then when it gets to the discounting factor,
You come and do this because he gave you before tax. But always, anytime there is tax in the question, you have to do after tax discount rate. The opposite is true. The opposite is true, meaning that there can be an MPV question where there is no tax, but the examiner will give you the after tax cost of capital. So you have to now bring it back to before tax rate.
If he doesn't give me tax in it,
But he can give you after tax rate
of 12%.
of 12%. But you
after tax, you are okay.
you can't use the after tax because there is no tax in the question.
If there's no tax in the question,
You can't use the after tax rate. You need to use the before tax rate.
So
So in that case, you will add, then take the percentage of it.
So 1 plus T.
Yes. Then you take it of that percentage to get the before tax. Because all the time, before tax rate is higher than the after tax rate.
So you said there's no tax there.
Yeah.
So where did the T come from?
There is no,
Tax.
no, like there is no tax taken into consideration in this question. Right? But in that case, it will give you an information that will help you to calculate the before tax rate. Yes.
You shouldn't bring such a question.
No, these are extremists. That's the these are extremes that the examiner can go in relation to.
Not these cities.
Okay, so let's go. B. B says we should calculate the net present value of the investment projects in what? What is the meaning of real terms? Excluding what? Inflation. Meaning a couple of things must change. One, it means we have to do workings for the discount factor. You know the discount factor was given at what? Money rate, isn't it? So we have to change it from the money rate into where? The real rate. Does it make sense? How do we do that change? We do that change using my brother, Fisher formula. Okay? It's my senior brother. What is the Fisher formula? 1 plus I into bracket 1 plus R 1 plus H. Where H represents what? Inflation. I represent the nominal rate. So we go 1 plus 0.12. Am I right? Equals into bracket 1 plus R, bracket close, bracket open 1 plus 0. What was the inflation rate? So let's do the arithmetic quickly. So 1 plus R equals 1.12 over 1.047. So R will be equal to 1.12 over 1.047 minus 1. So R will be equal to what? Quickly. 0.0 to the nearest multiply by 100, so approximately to be 7%. We good? We good? So that is now the real rate. This is what we will use to discount what? The cash flows in real terms. Then, because we are now calculating NPV in real terms, we have to calculate what? Working capital also in real terms. So let's go. Working capital. So we are doing B, and this workings 1, and this workings 2. So let's go. Can I have the sales figures respectively? 1250. 2570. 6890. 4530. Okay, so we go to the working capital. How many percent? 10%. So we go 125 and then
257
and then
689
and then
453.
but you know we always deal with what? The increase, right? Or the change. So let's go. So this 125 will go where? Year 0. So find the difference for me. 132, and that's an increase. Find the difference. That's also an increase. 263. That is a reduction. Can you see that? Then this one will come 5, 4, 5, what? 3. That's it. That's it. So this is the two workings we do for the B aspect when we are calculating cash flows in real terms. We calculate the real rates and then we calculate the new working capital.
236.
Which one? It's not 263. Ah, okay. That's why I want you guys to be confirming.
To be nice.
Let's go. NPV schedule B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, I didn't bring 0. Let me bring that. 0. Please, can you stop yawning before we all start yawning?
Are you not again?
Before I realize Kofi is also yawning. Then before I realize I'm yawning before the camera. I didn't see what? And I marked. Sales. The capital allowance.
Is the same.
Say the cost is the same. And I bet it's sales. Workings 1. No, no workings. So please give me the answer.
2570.
6890.
4530. I see you've done it.
This is my mistake.
Why you are following me? Let's go. 1.
2570.
6890.
4530.
We go for cost.
500. 1,000. 500. And 750.
Okay, let's go for profit.
1,350.
And I'll say 750.
Yes.
We go.
750. 1,570.
4, 3.
90. 378.
What do we bring?
That's
What rate?
30.
We go. 225.
225.
So the tax to here is 1 year in arrears. So we follow that order.
471.
We go.
1317.
We go.
1134.
Capital allowance.
150. 113. 84.
The last one.
53.
What else? Working capital. What we got? Year 0.
1, 2, 5.
Mm-hmm.
1,
132.
Uh-huh.
432.
Uh-huh.
236.
Positive, right?
Yeah.
And then
453.
what else? The cost of the investment. 2 million. Are we done?
Yeah.
Let's get the net cash flows.
2, 1, 2, 5.
618.
Year 5.
Mm-hmm.
4268.
No,
The
year
third year.
4268.
881 negative.
$3,000.
3,000. Discount factor. So let's go.
How much is it?
I don't have a table.
Why was it? 0.935. 0.873. 0.816. 763. 747.
We go with the present value.
2, 1, 2.
Five, 7, 8.
9, 2, 8.
The last one. 658.
Year 4. 2, 2, 8,
2, 2.
9. 3, 4, 8. Okay.
Net present value. Okay? And then what do you go review? 613,063.
That will take
4267. This figure, did you say 2,000 or 3,000?
3780 minus 1.17. 22467.
Ah, this figure, is it 3 or 2? It's supposed to be 2.
2 is 2780.
So this is supposed to be 2,000. So redo this for me. So redo the present value for me. Are you sure this tax rate figure is correct? 30% of this thing. Are you sure this figure you gave me here is correct?
So which one?
The tax rate.
30% of the old one.
And you were giving me the oh Charlie.
834.
Charlie. Charlie. 834. So give me the new figure here.
581.
Negative. Give me the present value again.
Four,
434. Did you say this discount rate is 0.47? Because I'm not getting that here. The fifth year, 7%.
713. Go on to me.
Have you been a man to me?
414.
414. We go. So please give me the new present value.
It's negative.
Yeah, the last one. Yeah. Also positive, right?
Yeah.
What was the first one? With real terms.
3947.
Okay, so the gap is really not that different. So that's how we deal with real terms and nominal terms cash flows. Okay, so C, explain ways in which the directors of Danco can be encouraged to achieve the objectives of maximization of shareholders' wealth. Yeah, so increment in their salary, offering of what? Shares in the company. What else? Offering of shares, like a motivation scheme, that if they are able to meet a certain objective, we give them what? Shares, ownership in the company. What else?
Bonus package.
Yeah, actually the share is also part of a bonus package. But we can also put it this way. That will be called, the first one will be called share ownership bonus. Then the other one will be called maybe performance bonus, where they participate in the profit of the company. Are you getting the idea? They participate. So for instance, if you help the company share price to increase, that year's profit, whatever net profit we make, you take 5%. Are you getting it? So profit sharing scheme based on performance can also be something that can be done to motivate their performance. So these are some of the things we can quickly talk about on ways to improve management. So I will see you in the next video as we continue with this journey of solving our mock questions for the May 2019 examination.